So in this class, we are going to focus on the simple interest. A simple interest is mostly applied when we are to use a hire purchase concept. We are going to have a class specifically meant for the hire purchase. Um, let's say you want to buy a television, a TV, or you want to buy a laptop, you want to buy something that is expensive. You can choose to pay monthly for that television or for that laptop that you want to buy. But on a case that you have maybe borrowed the money, you borrow the money or you get a loan. Once you borrow the money or once you get a loan, you do not pay it back direct the way that you borrow. Like if you, let's say, I borrow someone 3,000 rand. When I am going to return the money, it will be with an interest. So in our case, we are talking about simple interest. So it is going to gain a certain interest for that period of time, maybe 500 as the interest. So meaning to say, if I am going to pay, I'm going to pay the money that I borrowed plus the interest, which is the simple interest. When you borrow that, which is mostly a condition that you're going to see when having applications of a hire purchase, because mostly for the amount of money that is left, maybe you pay a certain percentage, you'll be left with a certain amount that you must borrow or that you must get as a loan. So the simple interest is highly recommended when you are using what? A hire purchase as part of what? Applications of the simple interest. So what does it actually state? The simple interest, I'm just going to write in short SI simple interest. The simple interest is equivalent to the principal times the rate times the time over 100. So where is this formula taken from? The principal P representing the principal. This is the money borrowed. That is our principal. This is the money borrowed or the loan. You're considering the loan. It is what? Your principal. Then R is the rate, the percentage rate. R there. It's a percentage rate at which that money that you borrowed is going to increase in a specific number of months, which is then converted to what, to years. So T being what? The time is given as what? As the time. T as what? As the time. So because of the way that we present now, the time is given or presented with letter N, number of payments, to say per year, per year, per year, per year. So you're going to use the letter N. For other textbooks, they use what? The T as it is here. All right. So that is what you're going to have. So I'm going to present this formula the way, okay, do not write that one, but if you have that one still, it's fine, just leave as it is. All right, so this is it. I want us to write or take out this part. So simple interest in simpler terms is given as PN R over 100. So that is the 100 to get rid of the percentage of R that you have. All right, so I have already referred about the P being what? The principal. and n, that's the number of years from that time number of what? Number of years. All right, then r being what? The percentage what? The percentage rate. So this is your simple interest. So remember I said you borrow, you have a loan, you have taken a loan or you borrowed what? A certain amount of money. The moment that you are to pay that money, it is A, the accumulated amount, it is accumulated, it has increased. It is going to be the money that you borrowed, which is the loan, which is your principal, plus the interest, which is your simple interest now. So it therefore follows that the amount that you get after that period, after the number of years that you're going to pay, will consist of the principal, the money that you borrowed, plus the simple interest. So therefore, accumulated amount is equal to what? Principal plus the simple interest. This is the accumulated amount, the one that you are going to pay after the number of years to be paid. All right, to be what? To be paid. The accumulated amount. That is our accumulated amount. Okay? The principal, the simple interest. So remember we said simple interest is equal to what? To this. So that is why you find other textbooks or other presentations writing it in this manner. If you take this into consideration, we said simple interest is written as what? P N R over 100 like this. So it's principal, simple interest. So if you check, P is common, we can factor that P and it will be like this. P, if we factor it, it's going to be P into P, that's 1, plus this one cancels. So you remain with NR over 100. So this is the simplified formula from what we are having here. It therefore follows that amount can be written as P into what? 1 plus NR over 100. Some textbooks, in place of this, they can use IN, that is interest as a decimal times the number of years. So you can have it that way, or A is equal to P into 1 plus IN. So when you use this I that you have here, it is as a decimal. As a what? As a decimal. Meaning to say, divide by what? 100%. So it is, in actual sense, N, here, this R over 100 is equal to I. I is equal to what? R over 100. R is the percentage rate. So to get rid of the percentage, you are now obtaining I. So if you take it that way, I think it can make sense on your simplification. So this is it, what we have on the simple interest. Sometimes you're asked to just calculate that simple interest or the accumulated amount they want to be paid after a certain period of time. For an example, we are given here that Zandile buys a car, all right, and borrows, that's a loan, and borrows what? 40,000 from her uncle. She agrees to repay the money now in terms of the repayment. She agrees to repay the money together with 80% per annum simple interest at the end of what? At the end of 3 years. Calculate how much money she will have to pay. What is to be paid after that period is the one that you are asked. She will have to pay. This is the condition. This is the condition that you are given. What is to be paid? The accumulated, what accumulated amount? What is to be paid? So there are so many ways of answering this. Let us take our data or information from what we are given. So here, the money that is being borrowed, which is the loan, represents what? The principal. Remember, the loan, the money borrowed is P, principal. So P is equal to what? 40,000. She borrowed 40,000 rand. She agrees to repay the money together with what? 80% per annum. PA means per annum, per year. So 8%, that is our rate as a percentage. So that is what? 8%. So if you want to have I there, it's going to be R over 100, which is going to be 8% over 100, which is 0.08, if you want to have it that way. All right, but it's still one and the same. If you want to have that in terms of I, it's still one and the same. You can have it. It's what? Simple interest. The percentage is what? Simple interest. At the end of what? 3 years. The number of years, 3 years. N is equal to 3. So the question is calculate how much she will have to pay. What is the accumulated amount? So it is in your hands. I'm going to use the first one, considering the simple interest on its own, then using a combined formula. It's in your hands, all right? Using the simple interest on its own, we said simple interest is given as what? We want to know this amount, the loan, the principal, what is going to be the interest to be paid in what? In 3 years. Simple interest is equal to PNR over 100. All right, where P is the principal, 40,000, times N, the number of years, which is 3, times our R as a percentage, 8. Everything over what? 100. So this will give us simple interest. The increase to be paid, the increase. So this is going to be 40. Okay, I want a fraction. Let me put a fraction here. 40,000 times 3 times 8 over what? 100. So this is 9,600. So the simple interest is what? 9,600. Using the idea of simple interest, we can say principal plus simple interest is going to give us what? The accumulated amount at the end, which is the one that we need. So amount is going to be principal, the loan, the money that was borrowed, plus the simple interest, what is to be added. So this is going to give us what? Our accumulated amount. The principal, the money that was borrowed is what? 40,000, plus the simple interest, 9,600. So this here will give us the accumulated amount, the money to be paid over the period of what? Over the period of 3 years. So that was going to be 49,600. 49,600 rand. Just like that. You have got what? The accumulated amount. This is from your understanding of the simple interest on its own. But remember, here we are calculating the combined everything together. So we can also use the formula that has combined these, if you know it, but mostly they will provide this formula for you. So you can simply use the formula to say accumulated amount is equal to P into what? 1 plus NR over 100. The moment you've got rate, you must divide by 100 to get rid of what? The percentage. This is accumulated amount. This one, it gives us direct the answer. So A is equal to P, which is what? 40,000. All right, so that is what? 40,000 open bracket 1 plus N, the number of years, that is 3 times our R there, which is 8. Everything over what? Over 100. So this is it. It is going to give us the accumulated amount at the end of the day, which we can just use our calculator direct. 40,000, you open the bracket, all right? Open the bracket, 1 plus, put a fraction, all right? Then 3 times 8 over what? Over 100. Then move aside, close the bracket. So this is it. You're going to obtain 49,600, just like the previous one that we obtained by simplifying each on its own, like separately. You could have used the formula that he has got I there. But if you use this one, you must take note that I is equal to what? R over 100, which is the decimal. So if you are using that, it's gonna be one and the same. It is just one and the same. Amount is equal to P into 1 plus IN, but I is supposed to be a decimal. So P is what? 40,000. Then open bracket 1 plus our I there is what? 0.08. Then times what? N, the number of years, which is 3. You're going to have or obtain the same answer from there. So this is it. Accumulated amount at the end. How much money she will have to pay at the end of what? 3 years. Another question we are given here that Lindiwe deposits 8,000 into a savings account. This one, it's in a savings account. She deposits the money borrowed or the money that you also deposit. It's idea there. For 5 years, the interest paid on the account is simple interest at 80% per annum. Calculate how much money she will have in your savings account at the end of what? 5 years. It is just like that one of a loan. You can also do it on as a deposit. You deposit something, then you wait for a number of years. So still it is the same thing. According to the information, our data, we have got the money that was deposited. That is our principal, the money that you start with. Started with what? 8,000 rand into the account. Taken for 5 years, any the number of years, 5 years. The interest paid, simple interest. So that's our R is 8% per annum. And that is what? Simple interest that we are talking about. You can have it as a decimal. I is equal to R over 100, which is 8 over 100. You can have it as a decimal if you want. Calculate how much she will have in a savings account. Remember, she deposited this with a simple interest along the way. She is going to have a sum of what? Principal and simple interest combined together. So we need accumulated amount after 5 years. So again, you can use either way. All right, let me start with the first one. So here we can you have the simple interest first, because we know that it's under a simple interest, and simple interest is equal to what? Principal times rate times time, which is NPNR or PRN. It's just one and the same. Let me just write the way that I wrote before. PNR over 100. Then our principal is there, 8,000. 8,000, the number of years. All right, so here, let me see. Okay, so there's this 8,000 times N 5, then R there is what? 8%. 8, everything over 100. So that was going to give us the simple interest. Sorry for that. Yeah. 8,000 times 5 times 8, everything over 1,000, over 100, sorry. This is 3,200. 3,200 rand to be what? Added, was it's an interest. So therefore, accumulated amount being principal plus simple interest is gonna be what? The principal of 8,000, the money that was invested. After a period of 5 years, this is the increase of what? 3,200, our simple interest. So we're going to add this 8,000 added to 3,200 is going to give us 11,200. So this is our accumulated amount at the end of the day. Just like that. Or you can use the formula direct. You need the accumulated amount, isn't it? So just use the formula direct, accumulated amount, principal into 1 plus. Here depends the way that you're going to have it. All right. So I'm going to use NR over 100. Or if you want to use, you can use IN. It is up to you. Okay. So let us substitute what we are given. The principal, 8,000. Into what? 1 plus N, the number of years, that is 5 times our R there as a percentage as it is, though, that's 8 over 100. So this is it. You have the accumulated amount, the one that she's going to have after 5 years combined together. It is, or we are obtaining that accumulated amount. So 8,000, open bracket, 1 plus, you have a fraction. So 5 times 8 in the numerator, then put this one down, that's 100, sorry. Then close the bracket. It's gonna be 11,200, just like what we obtained before. We obtained the same answer, 11,200. So let us revise as many questions as we can. Where we do not understand, let us communicate. The comment section is there for what? For communication. All right, so let us consider that part. Revise as many questions as you can. All right, this is the most important thing for your exams. You must understand all the concept, and also here you can use that one. A is equal to P into 1 plus IN. So prove with this one. Remember, I is what? R over 100. So you must have it as a decimal. So you must obtain same answers there.